Hey Salam, Namaskar, Sasriyakal, how are you guys doing? Today is my day 5 and I just thought of giving an update of the entire process of how I came from India to the UK here in Cranfield University. So here are a few pointers. So the visa and immigration, we applied for the priority visa, but due to the rush, like I would say due to the very heavy rush in Bangalore, the visa should have taken 5 to 7 working days, took us around say 9 to 10 working days, in total around say 14 days, and there was one holiday in between. But the visa came for both of us, me and my partner, and then our tickets was for 15th, and then it was a smooth process at the immigration. The Indian immigration took some time for me, I do not know why. People generally take a minute to 2 minutes max at the Indian immigration side. That's where which was in Bangalore. I took 5 minutes. I don't know why. My partner as well, she took like 2 minutes max. But post that, it was a very smooth affair. Even though the line at London Heathrow, when we arrived at 1:10 p.m. London time, or the British Standard Time, the line was pretty long. It took us a good 1 hour to reach, as you've seen this clip right now. But it was a smooth affair. Just took a minute for us to give us our biometrics, and the immigration officer explaining the terms and conditions of the visa. For me it was student visa, so I can't really work more than 20 hours a week. So, and for my partner, like her visa restrictions. And then the best part was the Cranfield University's airport meeting service. So that is a very useful service, I would say. I'm really happy with the service, and something that I'm really indebted to the university is a kind gesture, because it saves a lot of time and hassle, especially if you're traveling with a family or with your partner, or if you have kids, or even if you're a single guy or a girl, because you do not really have to worry about the extra tensions of taking cab from London Heathrow to whichever university that you're going for. In my case, Cranfield University. So the bus came, the line is here, and this is how the bus is. So it took us around an hour from London Heathrow to Cranfield University, where we were greeted by Sharon. So she was really kind. The student registration really didn't take much time. We were just given the terms and conditions of our contract at Fedden House, and we were also given some snacks, some tea, warm tea, or coffee, and some drinks. And then we headed on to our Fedden House. Basically, the student registration was a very smooth process. So again, really happy with the process. It happened at Mitchell Hall reception, and I think there were a few. They were doing the registration in batches, so that kept adequate social distancing. And I think there were 2 desks in the student registration, so simultaneously 2 people were getting registered. 2 students were getting registered. Accommodation. So we got Fedden House accommodation, and to be honest, I really searched on the internet, especially on YouTube, to get some good views of or reviews of the Fedden houses. So they were few and far between, and I thought of making this video especially for Fedden House, because this information is obviously slightly less on the internet space. The picture that's there on the Cranfield website for Fedden House is kind of misleading. It looks kind of small. So the room that we got is slightly bigger, and this is where like you are getting much more than what you expected, right? So, or you're expecting, and the groceries and the cooking utensils and the pans, it was all something that I did not expect, but it was given. So thank you, Cranfield University, once again for that. And let me just show you the slides right now. This is what we get: the Royal Cuisine 3 set of saucepan. It's pretty decent. Figure out what are these things. So I I think this is a pan. These are the stoves, cutting, also bin, which I think needs to be outside. Food waste and dry waste, and table dryer. This is a fire blanket. The cutter. This is a toaster, and this is the kettle. This is something very important. And this is the fridge or the refrigerator. How do I open this? So it opens from the other side. Okay, assuming it opens from that side too. So mostly for cold storage and vegetables. It's enough for 2 people. Also, one of the requirements for your quarantine is taking the day 2 and the day 8 tests. I took the test for me and my partner from Testing for All. The link is here, and it costs us around 89 pounds per head. So it was a smooth affair. I could track the parcel. So you gotta do your test 8. Sorry, you gotta do your day 2 test on your day 2, on or before day 2, and day 8, as the name says, day 8 on a day 8 of your quarantine. Mind you, your day starts from the next day after your arrival in the United Kingdom. Also, what I got to know is there have been slight delays in getting your test kits, or even sending out your test kits after you have given your samples. So that's okay. I think something that's expected, given the nature of the test, the whole sending and receiving of the test kits. So I think the government are pretty flexible about that, so you shouldn't worry about that. Also, let me tell you this, like on a more serious note, that you gotta follow your quarantine rules. If you are quarantining for 10 days, you better quarantine for 10 days inside wherever you have, whatever address you have given in your passenger locator form. So there were instances of people getting fined by the government officials because they found certain individuals been outside their quarantine facility. So please don't do that, because you will get fined, and the fine is pretty hefty, especially if you are a student. That's a pretty hefty fine. One thing that I have been doing, today's day 5, are the bank applications. So based on what I've heard from my friends in my course and from the university, one of the easier banking applications is from Barclays. You gotta give your passport, your student CAS, your CAS ID, and I think that should be all for you to get an appointment, an online appointment, and the Barclays team will send you a code in your registered address. So you gotta give that code, and then that's when your application gets accepted. And the BRP, you have to finish your 10-day quarantine, and then at Cranfield we have to collect our BRP, which is the Biometric Residence Permit, from the nearest post office, which happens to be in Middle Keynes. So that's when I plan to collect my BRP, right after when I finish my quarantine. The weather, I've heard a lot of stories about the UK weather and how it constantly changes. So you can see it's like pretty bright right now. It's like 1 hour back it was like very dull and there was no sun, and now this sun is really shining, and that's why I'm making this video. So the weather, it's kind of unpredictable, and now being like mid of September, the weather is slightly changing for the more cooler part of the year, and the nights are getting slightly longer. That's what I heard though. And so it's best, if you're an international student, try to acclimatize here and try to take precautions against the sudden onslaught of changing of weather suddenly. So keep yourself protected. Also, one more thing, especially here at Cranfield University, we are recommended to register for our GP, general practitioner. You can get the list of GPs on the NHS website. So see their ratings and see which one seems feasible for you, not only just by distance but also by the reviews and the reputation of the certain GPs. So be mindful about that. So guys, I hope you liked this small video. I would call it small. So I hope you find it informative, and if you do find it informative, to hit that like button and the subscribe button there and hit that bell icon. Stay tuned for the next updates in my journey in the UK. See you later.